Hey guys, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to be going over how I made $465,000 in about 90 days selling products to women. Let me just say this once. It's not necessarily easier for you to sell to women than it is to men. So when you're doing your product research, I wouldn't specifically go after products that are going to be marketed to women. One is not easier than the other. They're just different. You know, a lot of people try to make the argument that like, oh, women are more emotional, like it's so much easier to sell them. And they're just emotional about different things. Men are probably equally as emotional. It's just going to be about different things, right? So I wouldn't make that oversimplification, but I do have a brand that sells products to women. In this video, I want to show you exactly how I found the product and how you can find that product too, because the way that you market to men versus women is completely different. And I want to show you a strategy that's working really well right now that you can steal, you can use it, you can run it for yourself, rip it, do whatever you want, and hopefully make a lot of money in the process. Now, look, the framework that I want to teach you guys is actually, it's not my framework, but it was taken from a really well-known copywriter, an absolute legend in the space named Chris Haddad. And this dude came up with this concept of the PIG method, okay? And the PIG method basically stands for punch in the gut. And it stands for punch in the gut because it's a way to tell stories so that very early on in the story, you trigger such an emotional response that it's comparable to that of literally being punched in the fucking gut. And I'll show you a few examples of this, but I think specifically when it comes to selling to women, you can use this framework to trigger a strong emotional response, right? Something that calibrates actually very low in terms of low levels of energy. For example, it triggers a sense of shame or it triggers a sense of anger that prompts them to take action and eventually buy your product. Now, the power of the PIG method is if you're able to trigger this entire punch in the gut feeling in the least amount of words as humanly possible. For example, I think that you could trigger this specifically in the anti-aging market with like 4 or 5 words. And those 4 or 5 words, if this were me writing this copy, it would be something along the lines of, is that a gray hair, right? That's 5 words right there that immediately triggers this ultimate sense of grief, of fucking despair, of fear of aging within one fucking sentence. Like, it's absolutely insane. And so this is a framework that I want you guys to steal. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hop and do a little bit of product research to show you how to find this product. And then we can manipulate it a little bit to show you how I would actually create the ad in the VSL for this particular product. Because if you are going to be selling using this emotional framework, you're going to want to have that punch in the gut line as literally the hook of the ad that you're running, because then you can just suck people into your ad and they just can't even turn their head away, right? It's like when you watch a fucking car crash, you hate to see it, but you still can't stop fucking looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into my Get Hooked account right here. Now let me show you how I'm going to do product research here, right? I'm going to select under the filters, under the explore section, I'm going to select winning. I'm going to do ad format is video. I'm going to do status is still running. Runtime is 7 days. Language is English. Platform is going to be Facebook, and I'll select Instagram as well. And video length is going to be 3 to 5 minutes or 5 minutes or more. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now that I have these basic filters set up is I'm actually going to be searching keywords related to specifically the female market. For example, one of the most common markets, this is for men and women, but it's more common with women, is skincare. And so in this case, I would just search the keyword skin, right? And see what ads I can see that are going to pop up here. Now, as you can see, immediately we have all these amazing ads that we can potentially look at. And these are also like, there's products behind all of these as well, right? It's not just the ads that we're looking at. It's also specifically the products within these ads that we're looking at. All right, so I spent a little time scrolling and I found this product here. Now, this is not a new product by any means, but what is new is specifically the angle that's being used to sell the product. So this product here is one of those filtering shower heads, right? I'll play a few seconds of the hook here so you can understand what the product is.
This turbo shower is disrupting the water supply industry. Weirdly enough, this shower was created by one of the top dermatologists in the US.
Okay, so immediately you can understand like why they're using this angle, right? It's not necessarily just the fact that the water is filtered. It's that using this very specific filtration process, you can improve the quality of your skin, okay? Let's say that that's a product that we want to test. You know, you go through, you validate the product, it's successful, cool. Now let's talk about marketing it, which is really going to be where the majority of the success is going to come down to. It's going to be how you market the product. And we want to actually start crafting what this PIG story would be, right? What is the transformational story that somebody can go through with having a shitty shower head that is completely giving them like terrible quality skin, it's giving them acne, it's making them break out, and then contrasting that with the perfect product, which actually filters the water and makes your skin just immediately clear up like magic, right? So what could be specifically the PIG story that we could relate to this product? And if you're anything like me or anything like most humans, we don't like to think, right? I can sit here and come up with ideas all day long, or I can use my good friend ChatGPT to help me out, come up with some ideas and at least get the ball rolling. So I'm going to spend some time doing that and see what really cool kind of punch in the gut stories I can create with AI. And if you want like the exact prompts that I'm using here, I mean, it's super fucking basic. I'll show you. I'm going to spend some time doing it right now. I'll show you, but it's not fucking rocket science. So I found a product that I want to market for my e-commerce store, and the product is actually a filtration shower head that improves the quality of your skin and reduces breakouts and acne. Now, what I want you to do is come up with 5 specific punch in the gut stories that are able to be solved with the introduction of this product. So I want you to come up with this nightmare situation that a woman specifically is going through and has gone through the addition of this particular product. So I like number 3 the best, I want you to come up with a 1-sentence punch in the gut type sentence that if you were to only read that 1 sentence, you'd immediately just be sucked in to hearing the rest of the story because of how emotionally charged that sentence is. Okay, so I played around a little bit with ChatGPT, and I'm not gonna lie, I was cracking up before I filmed this because I think this is just a perfect angle and something that a lot of women can relate to. So the punch in the gut story is gonna go something like this. She smiled, thinking she had finally nailed the natural look, until her boyfriend said, "I love that you're confident enough to go without makeup." This line right here is the perfect punch in the gut type line, right? I love that you're confident enough to go without makeup. It's almost like the boyfriend is unintentionally just being passive aggressive and it's just being a fucking asshole. Not gonna lie, like this is perfect. So this is a line that I would use and I would center it around when a woman actually does put effort into her makeup, and then just to go to her boyfriend who says, "Oh, I love the natural look," and like you're going without any makeup. I think that's fucking perfect. I think that would instantly resonate with a lot of women, potentially. I've still yet to talk to one, but let's disregard that for now. Anyways, so now that we have the general idea for this particular ad, right? We have the punch in the gut story. Now we need to actually build a funnel, okay? So the very, very important thing when you're running products to women and you're using like this punch in the gut framework, you want to make sure that you structure your funnel around this as well, right? So once again, I know I've talked about this before, but bear with me. So what most people typically do is they run their standard, Facebook ad or TikTok ad directly to the Shopify product page. Now, with this particular product and this particular marketing, this is absolutely positively not what you'd want to do, okay? Again, the whole point of me making this video is to show you how if you build up the emotional momentum with selling an emotional product, you can convert at a significantly higher rate, which means more customers coming through the door, and you can also increase your AOV, which means the customers that are coming through the door are worth more money, okay? So we're not gonna do the whole PDP and then to the checkout page and then to the thank you page after that, right? This is not the way that we're gonna be running this particular funnel. What we're going to do instead, right, check mark, is we're gonna run the VSL ad, short form VSL ad, which can be anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes long. And then we're going to run that straight to a pre-sales page, which is probably going to be an advertorial, but specifically it's going to be a story-based advertorial. It's not going to be one where it's like a doctor fucking discovering a new revolutionary technology. It's not going to be like the whistleblower angle. No, it's going to be a story of a woman literally going through this exact nightmare story that so many other women have gone through before, just to resonate with the viewer and then channel all that emotion, all that rapport into selling your product in that advertorial, okay? Then after the advertorial, once again, we're not going to go to the product page. We're going to go to a sales page. And then after the sales page, we'll go to the order page, right? So sales page, which is where you're selling the product, and the order page is actually collecting the payment. So if I were to summarize the various steps here, just because I know this is a little bit more of an advanced, funnel architecture, but the reason why it's advanced is because it fucking works, okay? If you want to sell a product using this emotional angle, you have to have congruency from the VSL all the way through the whole funnel. And so in this case, you have a longer form VSL ad, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. You have this advertorial that's building the entire story. You have the sales page, right? Which this is selling what? This is selling the problem. And then here, the sales page is selling the product. The order page is collecting the payment. And now that you have the payment collected, now you get to really have some fun, okay? I hope you all understand this by now if you've been watching my fucking channel. But this step right here, every single time, is by far the most important step that you can have in your entire funnel, right? The OTO1 is for one-time order. It's just the first one-click upsell that you have post-purchase, okay? The reason why this is the most important step in your whole funnel is because it has the highest AOV contribution as humanly possible in the entire fucking funnel. What I mean by that is whether you realize it or not, during this entire process, yes, it's technically more steps than this regular conventional way of running a Shopify store. It's more steps, okay? I understand that. But you get one thing that you'll never get over here with this funnel, which is consumption. And I truly believe that the more consumption you can get before somebody actually buys your product, the more likely they are to spend more money with you, which means when they finally do get to this OTO 1 step, right? When they finally get here, they are now in the most emotional state that they will ever be probably in your company's history, period, which means you want to take advantage of that and you want to get other offers in front of them. Specifically, this first upsell right here. This is the step that has the highest price elasticity, which means if you're selling a product here on the sales page for let's say $50, you can sell an upsell for as expensive as 10x the price of your front end product. That would be $500. And let's say you don't even have a crazy take rate on that particular upsell, something as low as 5 or 10%. That's a $50 AOV contribution right there. And obviously that's an extreme example. I don't expect you to sell a $500 product on your first upsell. For example purposes, I'm just showing you how effective this can be. You could sell a $200 product. You could sell a $100 product with a 30% take rate. That's a $30 AOV contribution right there. I hope you guys understand that setting up this one page right here is going to have the greatest impact in your AOV. And if you're wondering, Mark, AOV is it can't be that important. Well, listen here, motherfucker, okay? There's two things that we know are true as you scale your paid ads, right? One thing is true, and that's that your CPA is always going to go up, right? You spend more money on ads, the ads get more expensive. Just a universal fucking law of scale. So how do you keep up with that? How do you fix that? It's going to be fucked from day one if you don't do what I'm about to tell you, okay? What I'm about to tell you is that the only way to really combat this is to compete on economics, compete on front end funnel economics, which means if your fucking AOV is high enough and your conversion rate is also high enough, then guess what? Even if your CPA goes up, your cost per acquisition goes up, because you have such a fucking bulletproof business, because your AOV is so high and your conversion rate is so high, even when your costs go up, it doesn't matter. You're still wickedly profitable. But that's never going to happen if you're using a structure like this. I don't want to say it's never going to happen, but it's going to be significantly harder, right? Because when you use this structure, you can truly max out your average order value because you can set up steps like this. And guess what? Guess what you can do right after the OTO 1, OTO 2, and then you can go to OTO 3. And for each of these, you can also have a downsell. Let's say people don't want to buy for 100. You downsell it for 50% off, $50. Boom. That's another additional AOV contribution you just got there from a downsell. The game is to fucking just pick all the low-hanging fruits for every single customer because they're all there. And if you're running with a funnel like this, you're just letting them all go. You're letting them all just fall off the fucking tree. You want to pick the low-hanging fruits and put them in your fucking pockets, all right? Because that's how you're going to get fucking rich. That's how you're going to make a lot of money in e-com. And that's what the top guys are fucking doing right now. So apologies, got a little fucking emotional about all of that. But the whole point of me showing you this funnel architecture, by the way, guys, is just this, okay? If you're going to be selling to women, and you're going to be using this emotional angle, you need to have congruence, which means the advertorial is going to be that exact story of the punch in the gut method like we talked about, right? Again, all credit for this goes to the guy, the man, the legend, Chris Dodd. So check him out if you haven't. But look, this is just one simple framework, okay? It's not the framework that you have to use, but anytime that you're selling a product to women, you want to be putting them in a very low emotional state, specifically something that relates to insecurities or something that relates to other people, right? It's social insecurities, because I think we all have insecurities of some type, but having insecurities about what other people think you specifically is something that predominantly affects women more than it does men, just traditionally speaking. I know that's a blanket statement, but in my experience selling to women, that's been the case for me, okay? So if you can tap into that, right? If you can meet them at that level, make them feel the pain, punch in the gut, then you're just going to move them emotionally so much more, which is going to move them to pay you money, whip out their credit card and buy your shit. Okay. And the final thing I want to leave you with, and the final thing that so many people fuck up here, especially when selling products to women, is that they focus everything on just one transaction. They focus all their energy as if they're only going to get that one customer once, right? And this is a huge mistake. The reason why this is a mistake is because imagine how much easier it would be for you to be profitable if that customer that came into your business to buy your $40 fucking product was paying you $40 every single month in perpetuity. How much easier would it be for you to be profitable? Well, it would be a million times fucking easier. And so what I want you to do is anytime that I'm looking to test a new product, right, I have this phrase, you always want to start with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is if you want to have a really, really profitable business, you need to have customers that come back and pay you over and over and over again. You can't always be playing the game of getting new customers, and that's the only way that you're profitable. You need to be able to profit off of your existing customers. And so when I'm looking to sell a product, for example, right, we found the shower head. What would be the example of turning this into some type of subscription or some type of consumable or some type of recurring or reoccurring product, which are technically two different things, right? Well, for example, you could say that the filters only last for 30 days. After 30 days, it basically becomes useless. This is what fucking Apple does with their iPhones. It basically turns into a mentally fucking stupid device after you've had it for like more than 12 months. It becomes like really, really slow. All this functionality stops working, blah, 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 etc. Right? Same thing is true with something like this, except this is actually fucking legit, because the more chemicals that flow into your water through the faucet, right, it's just going to get stuck and you need to replace the filters every X amount of time. So that's how you can turn a one-time customer into a customer that comes and visits you over and over and over again. So that's something that I would position on the sales page specifically, right? So that they're not just buying the product once. And of course, you want to be super transparent about this. Don't hide the fact that you're going to bill them again. Terrible idea. But you want to say, look, when you buy this, you need to replace the filters every 30 days. So this comes with like a 3-month supply. This comes with a 12-month supply, 6-month supply. Then you have 3 options right there, right? That's what I wanted to leave you guys with this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to apply everything that I've gone over here, like in even more depth, just click the first link in the description and check out Brand Builders Academy. That's a mentorship program I own with my partner, Alex Fedotov, where we're not just going to show you this stuff. We're literally going to fucking hold your hand and show you all of this step by step and help you set it up specifically for your store. And then once you launch it, we give you like direct feedback. Fucking awesome. If you want to apply, just click the first link. Other than that, guys, I'll plan on seeing you in the next video. And if you made it this far in the video, just know that I actually do talk to women.